it's tea time here and welcome to a brand new speed build. Today we are building a tiny little cottage. Yeah, I know I've been doing this a lot lately, but but I don't know, I really liked this one. I decided I would start trying to build a house with, I guess, the front of the house first. I originally called at least my save files just facade because basically I was just working on the front and then I wanted to see what I came up with from there. This is another build I was possibly going to use as a starter home for my Realm of Magic series, but in the end I just made another one on the spot and yeah, I may replace it at some point. But yeah, this is sort of what I wanted to do, I guess, making a little cottagey thing. I think as I went along, I decided that it was probably for a couple, which is why I've called it the Honeymooners Cottage, because it's very sweet. I think it only costs maybe 40-something thousand. It may be 70-something thousand. I could be remembering wrong. But I think it's only like 42 or something. So it's not too bad. Again, it's not a TV. I don't know if that's just my thing at the moment. I didn't do that one on purpose, I must admit. So this one was not intentional. And there's definitely places you could add a TV if you wanted to. It's also not a radio or anything. So I guess that kind of entertainment your Sims would have to just find for themselves or purchase. But yeah, it's really sweet. This is a great starting off home, not a starter home, don't get it mixed up because it is not as cheap as that. But I wanted to do a little thatched roof sort of feel. I love that thatched roof. I think it's one of the best things that we got from Island Living just because it's so useful for a bunch of different build styles, not just the Islander one. So yeah, I've been really hanging out to try and make some cottage type builds that have that sort of thatched roof. I don't know, what else uses that thatched roof? Obviously the island style, cottage, what else? I don't know, if you know what else there is that I could build that has the thatched roof, just because that thatched roof is so much fun, let me know down below in the comments. But anyway, yes, I'm just sort of designing this thing based around a roof and then just working from there. And so the shape of this thing actually ends up quite simple in the end. I do spend a bit of time here trying to come up with a clever shape, and in the end it's just too big. That's not what I was going for, especially if I was attempting at first to try and make it more like a starter home and then maybe a starter home for a couple. Yes, it just got way too big, and so I pretty much this sort of size and shape you're seeing here, that's what we end up with a really nice porch out the back. But yeah, it's super adorable. Just like my last build, it's one that I'm actually really quite happy with. This doesn't always happen, but now and then I just go on a building spree and I just kind of go crazy, and it's been so much fun lately building. I've been a little tired of interiors, so I've just been going around building exteriors, so I've got a couple backed up at the moment. Actually similar styles again. I guess I've just been enjoying the little cottages, sort of witch houses, things like that. They're just a fun style to build, and so that's sort of what I've been doing. So sorry if there's more of those videos and you don't want them. I'll try and do something else. But do leave any suggestions down below of anything you'd like me to build. I would love a challenge. If it is literally a challenge you'd like to see me do, then just leave that as well. Preferably with a link would be nice, so I don't have to go searching for hours. But yeah, I've just been enjoying building, especially the outsides of buildings. Here's the thing, would you guys like for me to create a shell challenge or something like that, or see me do a shell challenge? For anybody who doesn't know what that is, that's basically where you build a good chunk of mostly the exterior, maybe a little bit of floor plan, and maybe put in a couple of items or something like that. And the idea is that you then take on the challenge, or somebody else takes on the challenge, to finish the build, but you can't really move most things that have been placed already. So you can't move walls, you can't maybe move stairs, or maybe a bookcase was put in somewhere awkwardly. Yeah, it's quite fun. I haven't actually done it before. I don't know why I'm saying it's fun when I haven't done it before. I know it's fun, guys. I know it. I don't need to be told. Here I am just working out the actual floor plan now. As you see, I did put on that extra section on the other side of the house and then get rid of it. I kept some of that process. Again, I love leaving some of the process in, just so you guys don't think I'm perfect, because I am the farthest thing from it, and I have no idea where you'd even get that I'm perfect from. That's please don't. Oh, gosh, I don't even know. I hope not. I hope no one's getting that idea, because I really don't feel like I display that. Anyway, sorry, just amusing myself with the thought. Oh, here we go, putting some pretty plants around the place. It is an unrestricted build. I really want to do some more restricted builds, so again, suggestions down below. Let me know what packs you have, what style of build you'd like. I'm happy to take requests. But yeah, it is unrestricted. I just used whatever I came across because I just wanted to make it pretty, and the plants from Jungle Adventure are just the best. They're just the best. All the things that hang on the walls, just so good for these sort of slightly overgrown builds, cottage builds and things like that. If you do like building a cottage, some packs I'd suggest you get would be Get Together, Island Living, the new one, Realm of Magic's probably okay, but maybe not at the top of my list. Jungle Adventure, Laundry Day, and probably Cats and Dogs. There's some of my top ones. If that's the sort of style you really like building, then there's some really nice suburban and slightly cottagey looks in that. Get Together's a fairly important one, I think. And for a thatched roof, you really have to get Island Living, but it does come with some other beautiful wooden tones and things that are great for these things as well. So yeah, I mean, that's a bit of a win. Also, you'd get Sulani, so just, yeah, if you're thinking of buying a pack and that sort of a style you like, yeah, any of those I think are really good options. Laundry Day, if you want to do laundry, or even if you just want to add that realism to a build, yeah, I absolutely love that pack. I've never regretted getting that pack at all. There's other ones I probably have a bit where I'm like, why did I even bother? Maybe because they were the early ones and you thought, oh, I just have to get them. Or maybe I did. I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, just working out, I guess, where some things are going in this build. It took me a little while to figure out the floor plan. I do change it a bit here, but I've left out a lot of the process because it was like a huge mess and I didn't want you to have to watch that because the camera moves a lot and it's painful. So I sort of left that out, but I do sort of, this is roughly where the kitchen will end up. And I place, yes, that dresser just in that other corner. But you will see that some space does sort of get wasted in the kitchen area. I turn that actually into a little nook outside with a door to it, like a storage cupboard with some things like a broom and some laundry things. Yeah, I thought that was really cute. I mean, it's totally not usable and you can barely see the thing unless your walls are down. But I, for some reason, really felt like adding that flavour. So that's there if you want it. But I was really smitten with these colours from these fridges, the fridge and the stove, sorry, from Jungle Adventure. Here, that sort of minty tone. And in the end, I do change it. But I'd really love to do a build with those. It's just, you really have to do the rest of the build really well to suit that. And I'm just not always good at that, or at least in the moment, I don't feel like it sits well with me. Often when I come back and rewatch or I'm voicing over these things, I'm actually like, why didn't I leave that? I don't know if you guys do that too. You go back to a build and you're like, oh, that's awesome. Why didn't I actually leave that thing there? But I do that all the time, and yeah, regret, guys, regret. But at the time, I don't know, you're fussing so much that you really can't see what's going on, and quite often my builds end up white. So I'm sorry about that. And that's yeah, what we're going with. Here you go. Here's one of those beautiful things from Cats and Dogs, that high back chair that goes with little ottoman and that high backed chair. High backed armchair, very specifically. They are beautiful items from Cats and Dogs, and I absolutely love them, but they don't fit everywhere. But in a little build like this, it's so cozy and I love it. Needed a chest table. Of course I needed a chest table. It suits so well. There's a lot of little gardening things here. I think these cottages really speak to me about gardening. It makes me wish that I could do it, and I can't because I'm scared of everything in the garden. And I mean, I've never seen anything dangerous in the garden really, but apparently I'm just scared of it anyway. I live in Australia, if you need any context for that, and Sydney funnel webs. are a thing that apparently terrify me, even though I've never seen one. Yeah. Not to make Australia scarier for anybody. It's honestly not. You don't see these things almost anywhere. Yeah, but back to the back to the build. It's just rambling. Yeah, there's a lot of white. I do add a little bit more colour on the walls with some paintings and things like that, but mostly it goes from these teal, minty sort of tones up to blues, and that's sort of the mixture I'm going in there, and that jungle adventure rug just goes so well. I'm really loving these almost modernised cottage interiors where they're very... like the furniture feels very rustic, but all the colour tones and the walls and things like that are just, you know, a lot cleaner. It's not all brown and dark. It's very light. I'm just loving that sort of feel at the moment. So for example, I've got a very rustic looking bed in here, and I do change it back to the minty tones again because I'm keeping everything kind of that, I don't know, I just felt like coordinating was fun, so I ended up doing that, mostly accidentally, I must admit. But the walls are this sort of rendered white wall, and it's very clean. I think it's actually from Jungle Adventure again. That pack is amazing in terms of build and buy objects. It is absolutely phenomenal. So if you like any of those styles, these overgrown sort of rustic looking things, absolutely recommending getting that pack. Anyway, I have actually got the red shelf in the game now. I'm about to use it to put a shirt on top of another shirt. I'll link that down below for you guys if you want to grab that for yourself. It's just useful now and then for putting things somewhere where they just really don't sit otherwise, and it's so hard to line them up. But I am changing these side tables here. I was using those newer ones from the most recent update to the base game, but I do change it to these ones. It felt a little bit more appropriate in this room with this sort of rustic features and minty sort of tones. I thought that they were too cold looking, as in that sort of metal feel was a bit it wasn't very homely for the bedroom, and I really wanted that homely feel, and in fact I do give the lot the homely trait, and I think I give it good soil as well, just in case you were interested. You can always take those off if you don't want them, like, no stress. I wouldn't get offended even if I knew, and I probably will never ever find out. Oh dear. But yeah, pretty much done a lot of the furnishing now. We're going to start moving outside in a sec, but here we are doing this little cupboard. Like I said, it's just got a broom, a dustpan, I've got the little scrubbing board, maybe it's a spare for the one that's outside. There is no actual laundry machines in this build, but it is all by hand, which I love, and if my self-sim would do that. I say my self-sim because my self-sim is like an idealized version of me. Real me barely does any washing as it is with machines, so... Oh my goodness. I'm improving, guys. I am getting there really slowly. Anyway, we're just making on the landscaping now. I really love just having that just random fence out the front. I did that right near the beginning as part of that facade kind of look that I was talking about earlier, trying to figure out, I guess, the front of the house before I do anything else. I think I've seen Evelyn probably do that quite often. Is it Evelyn or is it Similar C? I think it's Evelyn. And I just really love the idea of, well, how does this house look like from the front? And I don't do it very often where I work on that. Usually I try and make it look acceptable later, but I thought this was, I don't know, it ended up really sweet because of doing that. So maybe it's a thing I'll try more often. But yes, I'm using the same plants over and over again. I think they're all base game, honestly. We are building in Willow Creek, and I think this actually suits this spot really well. It's the spot in one of the cheaper areas that is right next to the tree that goes to the Sylvan Glade. Yeah, it really suits this area quite well, and it feels right. Oh, here we go. There's a couple of things from Cats and Dogs. Man, I picked it when I said the packs at the beginning. A couple of plants from Cats and Dogs, and just that big floral tree, which is beautiful, I believe is from Cats and Dogs as well. Anyway, we're starting to work on the last things here, working on the bathroom. I was having trouble with the colour scheme in here. I really wanted to use those tiles because they had a little bit of a mix between a modern and an older feel, and I loved that tone that we'd used in the kitchen, so I did that again. But I do change the colours around a few times, and I think I settle on something that is a little bit more grey rather than the strong woods or blacks or things like that. Anyway, we are just decorating the entryway and putting some lights out the back. We're getting very close to finish now. I think I just changed a few more things in the bathroom because I realized I hadn't quite finished and I wasn't happy with the color there. So here I am changing to those grays. Anyway, we're pretty much done now. So yeah, guys, do let me know how you think I went. Would you download this house? What would you use it for? Who do you see living here? Yeah, like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Comment down below what you'd like to see in the future. And yeah, enjoy the slideshow and I will see you guys next time. Bye!